Welcome to Family Therapy with Mojo. Today I wanted to talk about something which sounds simple but which is actually quite important at this time. As we head towards the end of summer and children going back to school and people coming back from holiday, for the last 10 days I can feel a growing tension and stress. People are frightened. I'm actually quite frightened and it surprises me. I feel more uneasy now than I did when we were in lockdown. I think when all that, what we thought ended, we thought that's it, we've come out of it, we're going to be all right. But now we might not be. I live in Geneva, in the French-speaking part of Geneva, and it's just on the frontier with France, and COVID cases have been rising. And people are getting scared. People are getting scared for their children. They're getting scared about the children bringing back germs and stuff from school. So what I think is very important is we have to help ourselves here. Nobody's coming to help us because nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. So I think there are three very important things that we need to do. The first one is to raise our awareness of the chatter that's going on in our head. I've always been absolutely fascinated by neuroplasticity and brain chemistry and neurons and dopamine and serotonin. And there's a lovely expression in that field. Neurons that fire together, wire together. And very, very sort of basically translated for ordinary people like me is if you keep on thinking a thought and it's not necessarily a true thought, you're making that thought stronger. All this worry and all this hypothesizing, this might happen or that happens or that's going to be terrible, and we're awfulizing and catastrophizing and we're sort of running before the storm, we have to stop. And in order to stop, we have to raise our awareness that we're thinking these thoughts in the first place. Now, our thoughts aren't necessarily the reality. We all have at the back of our brain something called our limbic brain, which is a leftover from prehistoric times. And I've actually given mine a name. I call her Lizzie the Lizard. Now, our limbic brain used to have and still has one function, and that's to keep us safe. It's to stop us rocking the boat, stop us getting into trouble, stop us trying anything new. The limbic brain has been responsible for a lot of lost opportunities in my life. For many, many years, I didn't dare to go for it. I waited too long. I weighed things up too much. I procrastinated, but not at all through laziness or anything. It was fear-based procrastination. Little did I realize that my limbic brain was fueling all this. So one of the solutions here is to stop doing this to ourselves. And the way you do that is to raise your awareness of what's going on. Then you can step back and then you can say, look, I'm not going there anymore. I'm not making these neurons that fire together stronger. I want to put something else in place of that. So that's one solution. My other solution I got by listening to an incredible podcast, which I really want to recommend to you. It's something called Impact Theory by Tom Bilyeu. He is an artist, the Michelangelo of interviewers, and he interviews all sorts of incredible people. It is fascinating. I've never listened to that and come away feeling worse than I did when I started. So he was talking the other day to someone called Andrew Huberman, and Andrew Huberman is a neuroscientist, and Andrew Huberman was talking about stress. And stress, in a way, is a little bit like Lizzie the Lizard, our limbic system. Stress was originally designed to help us survive. And I thought, well, how does that do it? Well, what it did was it would push our ancestors out of the cave to go and find food, to go and find a mate so that they could perpetuate the species. And what he is suggesting, and what I find incredibly empowering and, giving of hope, is flip stress around. Stress is actually, if you pay the proper kind of attention to it, it's telling you what you should be doing. It doesn't make anything less frightening, but when you know it's your ally trying to help you, it does put a whole new spin on it. And the last and third thing that I really recommend and that I find very helpful, following on the previous two, is taking action. You have to take action. Every time you take even small incremental actions, you build up dopamine. It actually releases dopamine. This is another thing Dr. Huberman was saying, which I find is absolutely incredible. He was saying, for example, if you want to start running, just do a little thing. Put your running shoes next to the front door. Next day, put them on. All these small little triumphs are part of what he calls growth mentality. Helen Dweck wrote the most incredible book about that. They're incremental improvements which make us feel good, because by building up our reputation with ourselves of doing something, we know we can manage. So if you combine all that, raising awareness, small incremental improvements, and flipping stress to make it your ally and let it point you in the right direction of what you should be doing, I think it definitely does help. Try it. And please write back to me and tell me what you think and how you found it. And don't forget to look in the links below and listen to Impact Theory, especially the one with Dr. Andrew Huberman. And I'll see you soon. Bye.